Welcome to your monthly duality check-in. You should be hitting that point in the month where the full moon is getting to come through, illuminating some of these last potential hurdles of September. So stay tuned and we'll check in with the blue and red path moving forward. Welcome, Red Path. This is your September follow-up to make sure you are not in the duality of the red path here at the end of the month. So how we check into this is really using the full moon. The full moon energy likes to illuminate things in our path that we haven't quite figured out yet. And so the full moon coming in this September 17th, it's signaling this big completion energy. We're ready to finish everything we've been working on, right? All the way from January all the way up until this point, we have been brick by brick, trying to understand who we are, what we're building, and how we want to move forward. And so this can be a redefinition of the self. This can be a redefining of your responsibility. This can be changing that human agenda just slightly to feel like it's more aligned to you and the truth of you. And so here in September, you're ready to have this big completion, right? You've been doing the work, really riding the flows of energy, and now it's time to really just complete this and move on. And so here, when we look at your energies, which are right here behind me, the red path, it was all about manifesting connection in August. That's why you picked this path for September, because in August you had extended yourself. You had maybe gone outside of your comfort zone. You had found groups of people, networks, things that inspired you to be more you, that really helped you develop a greater sense of who you were. And then what that does is that August energy really shifted you into an alignment here in September that then said, okay, you've done this work, you've extended yourself, you really wanted to know who you are. Now it's time to complete this. Let's show you who you are and how you can move forward. And so September's energy comes in and allows you the mastery of wisdom, which is really understanding more of what this human is here for. It's understanding more of your truth, understanding more of your purpose. It's really getting that validation, that confirmation that exactly who you are is exactly who you need and who you should be moving forward. And so that's the big mastery for you this September. And right around the new moon, which we didn't touch base into just because the new moon came so quick after the release of the energy in the beginning of the month. And so your new moon energy was all about being a witness to what was happening. And it's about being really present to what's happening in your mind. And so that the signs are all there, that when you need it, the signs were showing up. This month should have been a really magical one, really allowing you to click in and get this, these small micro shifts and movements to help keep you in the current of life. And so, the new moon energy really activated a flow for you that meant when you were ready and you were really grounded and present, that things were just going to show up to kind of help lead you to the next moment and get you over the next hill to the next pot of gold, right? And so this has kind of been how your month has been showing up. And all of this is happening again to just get you to feel confident in who you are is exactly who you need to be moving forward. And so then at the end of the month, the duality comes up where your duality says, if you're not ready to be completely in the synchronicity of life, if you're not ready to just have complete kismet interactions, and kismet interactions here mean that your purpose is always what you think is already attracted to you. It becomes your life experience, and this is your purpose. So this is the final kind of moment where you're going to get tested, where do you distrust still? If you can think it and it's here, are you distrusting? Maybe you don't realize that you thought about it and it's here and you're not trusting in it, right? So there's this disconnect from the synchronicities, disconnect from the kismet flow that's really gotten you to this place and had your human show up as it's showing up right now. Again, The interesting thing for you here, Red Path, in this September, in this big completion month, is this isn't going to be like some fortune cookie that you open up and on the fortune cookie it tells you exactly what your purpose is. It's so much greater than that. This month is all about you recognizing that exactly who you are, exactly what you're feeling, and exactly what you've been desperate to unfold is the purpose. And it's the recognition and the validation of that that is the wisdom and the mastery of this big completion month. It's about you getting that final tap on the back from high self saying, you've done it, kid, you're here. Now let's move on. All right. Do you trust that who you are is exactly who you need to be? It's like your high self is shaking you, right? Do you trust that who you are is exactly who you need to be? Because things are getting fast, right? And we need you to step in, fully step into this next swing of energy that's taking place here in October. And so we're going to replay what we did already for just clicking you into these energies. And then once you've selected what energy you want to play with, we'll come right back and move into reading each of these energies for you to make sure that you are staying in alignment at the end of this September and completing what it is you came here to complete, which for you, it's about clicking in and trusting that exactly who I am is exactly who I need to be, and staying in that flow and not letting the hurdles or the hiccups of distrust from your past come up to take that away from you. So whatever one you pick, make sure to stay till the very end because we're going to do a final read here with the energy. Don't listen to all of the chakras. Really just pick the one that you want to play with today. I'll put a time stamp up so you can go right to it, and then make sure at the end of listening to that chakra you go to the crown chakra and get the final message for Red Path. So root chakra is all about your family or your foundation again. So this could be anything stabilizing like home. If there's been anything confusing about your home, where you're living, your location, your family, right? These would be things that come up around root chakra. So you're going to pick to listen to this energy here. If anything right now is really confusing or feels disconnected, feels blocked within that area of your reality. So the next here is sacral chakra. So anything to do with relationships, any kind of blocks to creativity, like a writer's block could come in here, right? So if you don't have the motivation, the passion to do things right now, then that could come in here. If we're talking about the energy or the actual physical exertion it takes, you're going to pick solar plexus chakra. This is more about health. This is more about the fire it takes, the willpower, the fortitude that it takes to do things in this life. It's also about you. So if there's anything where you feel like you're blocked, if anything is happening around a change of identity or a change of the self, or even things that would affect you in your human agenda, then you're going to pick solar plexus chakra, the third one. Now, if things are confusing or a bit out of balance around the heart chakra, you're going to be experiencing an inability to maybe be vulnerable, let go. Remember, your mastery is all about letting go of control and stepping into an expansiveness. So if you're really having a hard time understanding your mastery, if you're having a hard time switching from that spiritual to the physical, anything related to this, I think you would fall right here in the heart chakra. And then the next one, the throat chakra, we're going to talk about would be your voice. And so this is, if there are any changes in the voice. I know I've talked to some people who are having kind of speech delays or losing their words, or just for whatever reason, it doesn't feel like you can articulate a message, or forgetting words, right? Saying something and then completely getting lost. This could be about perceiving dishonesty in other people, or feeling like you're getting lied to, or even the self-judgments or lies you're telling yourself. So anything that involves the spoken word, anything that's confusing around that spoken word, you're going to stick here to the throat chakra. Third eye chakra, if you're looking for greater awareness, if maybe you don't know what it is and you need more click-in, more awareness of what could be happening, go with third eye chakra. That will give you some more perspective on the bigger picture that's unfolding here for you at this full moon. And then this time I'm going to do a little different. So the crown chakra will be a message for everybody. So hang out to the end or fast forward at the end after you hear your chakra that you're connected to. And then we'll kind of give a boost of energy, hopefully, or a final thought here at the crown chakra. So go ahead and take a deep cleansing breath, inhaling in and exhaling, letting everything go. So let's start right in with root chakra. So if you picked root chakra, it's because you're questioning the family, the foundation, what's been created. And so for you, what it's saying is there's too much attachment. Why it doesn't feel like things are maybe moving fast, why things aren't really serendipitous in your life, why maybe you're not connected into the flow or the synchronicities. You're attached to one outcome. And here you have tunnel vision going, and it's making it really hard for you to see all of the little signs that need to happen, all the little micro movements that need to happen before you can actually be in the full flow of the energy of this kismet synchronistic final kind of expression. And so why do you feel like you're not, like things aren't coming through? You are so narrowly focused on one outcome, one objective. This is right. This is my path, or this is what's happening for family, house, moving, stability, foundation. You're so focused on that one thing, you're missing a multitude of fine-tuning adjustments that need to happen to get you into the best, highest, and greatest potential for all of this new energy to connect in. And so for you, it's releasing the attachment. You got to let go of what you think you know and really step into more of an expansive space here. So that's root chakra. Next, we're going to move to sacral chakra. So sacral chakra, you pick this because of your relationship. So for you, you're really purifying what you want through your voice. This is about your voice, how you're expressing yourself, and then clearing yourself as a channel, as a conduit. So for you, the ending energy here, or why you might feel a little blocked within the relationships, is because you're still manifesting how to talk about this. I could actually see this being somebody who's going through such a drastic shift of their own identity, of what they want, who they are, and really not knowing how to put that into words yet. And what this is saying is that there's a fine-tuning going on for you right now, and the fine-tuning is happening not only non-physically, but energetically within you, but it's also then creating these experiences in your physical reality that are going to naturally guide you to the next highest, greatest outcome potential. But what's happening for you is really a clicking in. I feel like you're really being worked on. Your message is being worked on, trying to understand how to express yourself. All of these things are happening here within you non-physically. And so, if you think you should be somewhere else right now or further along, that's why you're out of the flow, because you're still really trying to cultivate an understanding through your own voice, through your own knowing first, before you're going to be able to express it. And so I feel like this is creating a disconnect between you and the relationships. And so, just know that you're manifesting this adjustment right now. And so it's going to take a little bit of time to settle in. But as soon as it does, you will be a really clear, neutral channel to express that to other people. So as soon as you feel confident expressing what's happening to you right now or what changes you're going through, definitely make sure you sit down that relationship that's feeling a little off right now and convey what's happening to them, because they need to know, right? There's a little bit of discomfort in the not knowing. So as soon as you can put it into words, make sure you're helping them to see it as well. So now solar plexus chakra, you pick this one because it's you, because things are going on with you. There's a little bit of block within you. And so for you, this is all about the extremes. This is about finding balance. And so again, when we talk about your block at the end of the month, the hurdle you have to jump over, it's really what's going to take you out of the flow. And for you, this is getting into the extremes of life. You have a hard time when you're thrown in one direction. You have a hard time coming back to center. Let's just say you go out with friends and it's a fun social atmosphere and you drink, you have a hard time stopping drinking at 1, even though your body's like, it doesn't feel so good to drink right now. You have a hard time stopping and you'll have 5 before you know it, right? That is an extreme. You have a hard time right now feeling and finding balance. And what happens when you get swept up into the currents of the extreme experiences of life, it takes you out of the natural flow. And what that does is it's creating illusion that everything's perfect. And so your decision in your mental decision, or there's a bit of a disconnect going on for you where your mind wants one thing, your body's feeling a different way, and you'll pick one or the other instead of trying to find some middle path, the balance, the harmony, what brings you more into homeostasis. And so you allow your energies to get pulled out. And what this does is it takes a strong will, it takes fortitude to move forward knowing what is right for you. And then once you know what's right, truly right, then you can make the decision to make sure that's happening for you, the human. Because if not, you're going to get pulled into another one of these triggers, these extremes where you go far outside of yourself, right? Drinking too much, sleeping too much, eating too much, right? Very human things I'm using here. But it could be even non-physically, it could be even your mind, thinking it's like way too much going on here. And then you're in one of the extreme spirals of your mind. And then you realize 3 hours are gone that you could have been producing something that's meaningful, but you're lost in having to analyze it and scrutinize it, right? So you right now are in a real pull between extremes, and this is pulling you out of the flow, and it's making you distrust in yourself, okay? And so that's your final hurdle for the end of the month, remembering how to keep your balance, do the things that keep you feeling balanced and whole so that you can really stay in that sweet flow and complete this for yourself here this September. So the next one, the heart chakra, this is all about, heart chakra here is all about people who are really having a hard time really just being vulnerable to what's coming, right? The mastery of this month is being vulnerable to what is my purpose, right? There's a bit of anxiety around, if everything's happening now and everything's transitioning, it's like, I feel lost, I feel left behind, I feel like I'm behind here. So for you picking this part of the path, so of course you're manifesting even more vulnerability. And so what this is saying is that everything you need is surrounding you. And maybe for you, it's about judging yourself too much, judging yourself in comparison to other people you see going through this, judging yourself, and then what that does is it creates a wall between you and what you're striving for, and it's like you can never see over the wall, and so you just keep second guessing and you keep doubting. And so for you, the goal is vulnerability, and vulnerability means I'm going to stay open. Even though I don't know what I'm staying open to, I'm going to stay open. I'm going to trust. Instead of closing down, shutting down, you're going to just find another level of trust. And when you trust, those synchronicities, that kismet connection of life, really where your purpose comes in and you know it's right, you just know it's right, that will happen to you. But it's staying really open, really vulnerable so that those little signs can come in and guide you to the bigger flow that's happening around you. Throat chakra. Throat chakra here is going to be for those of you who are curious about the voice, the lies, the deceit, anything that's coming through the spoken word. So you're being asked to have tolerance. You are manifesting tolerance. So for you, it seems like your high self is in connection to how you're expressing yourself. And it probably feels like there's a lot of naysayers, judgers. Maybe there's a lot of that harsh criticism. The voice coming at you is probably what this seems like. And so it's probably been really hard for you to stay in the flow, to stay connected, because lots of people have opinions, lots of people are judging. It seems like instead of the voice being an internal voice here, this is a voice that's really strongly directed at you. And so for you, what you're asked to have is more tolerance towards what's happening. Know that all of this is in alignment, and as long as you can keep being you in the face of the adversity, you will in essence connect more fully to the path, the purpose, the high self, all of that wisdom, which is your mastery this month. The last one here, those of you seeking a greater perspective, a greater knowing over what's happening. So this is all about you being okay, so this is interesting. It almost feels like whoever picked this one, you're getting a little tidbit of maybe where you can find some of this wisdom or what this purpose is for you this month on Red Path. What you're completing, another click in of, is this what I should be doing? Is this who I am? This is all about people who are ready to tell their story. This is about people who have a story. This is what I would consider being the book writing energy. Like if you ever wanted to write a book, whether it be a tell-all or a fiction, nonfiction, whatever it is. This comes up when it's time to tell your story. It's time to write your story. It's time that people know your story. And so whatever that looks like for you, this is really a big alignment. This is a big time for you to start journaling, get those thoughts down, really you be you right now and make that your foundation, however that looks. If you're not a writer, maybe you can counsel or guide other people, but you have a lot of wisdom right now. And so part of your purpose that's coming through right now, if you wanted a little extra hint, it's really about you helping others through your own story, because it's there and it's time that comes out. So the last bit here we're going to get into is the final energy, which is the crown chakra. And this is going to be just a message for everybody here on Red Path. And so a final little bit of the message. So you might feel like you're a little weird this month. You might feel a little out of the box. You have pioneering energy following you, which means you are doing things that are serving bigger groups that you don't even know yet. And it's your attitude, it's your light that's really dictating how people around you see you, and then will also change their own light to be of that same kind of energy. So pioneering energy isn't easy. It means you're doing things that are a little out of the box, a little bit abnormal to other people. It might be you're the black sheep right now is maybe kind of some of this energy, but this is a really highly evolved energy, which means as long as you're doing you are going to be guiding people into the best light. People will follow your light. Moth to flame, you're going to create a ripple effect in the close circles around you for people to also start to follow and live their truth, which is one of the most beautiful things any human can do for another human. So with so much light and love, Red Path, truly I wish you the best of love and luck at the end of this month. Everything is kismet for you, which means it is all perfect. It's only if you see it as imperfect that you will block it. And so know, even if things get tough here, even if things start to crumble down around you, that this is kismet. This is all meant to be. And so find the love, find the light in what's happening, and you will stay in that beautiful flow that gets you through this completion month and into the programming, into the God energy of October with light and love.
If what you seek is seeking you, then what are you looking for?
There's a part of you that wants to expand, it wants to grow, and it wants to feel much better than it already does.
This membership program offers courses to change your reactions and tools to expand your perspective.
They're tools. They're just trying to amplify what's already there, make you a better version of self. This is the first time I felt full in my entire life.
Guided meditations and live interactions will bring validation.
Going through these rebirths, or this evolution, this form of change, this shift, it is the most exciting part.
Explore your potential, embrace your gifts, and empower your life.